Okay, imagine buying your child a pet, a very, very cute pet, and there's only three rules you have to follow for the pet to survive. Number one, don't get the pet wet. Number two, keep the pet away from sunlight. And number three, whatever it is you do, never feed it anything after midnight. Can you imagine getting your child that pet? Yeah, I can't imagine getting my child that pet. Hell, I can't even imagine getting myself that pet. In case you're wondering, we're talking about the movie Gremlins and our 31 Nights of Horror movie edition. Okay, so this movie here, I love this movie. I love it. I love it. I love it. Even though, like, Gizmo is very, very high maintenance. He's cute as hell. Okay, it's a very, very cute pet. I remember growing up as a kid, I used to think Mugwais were real. I used to be like, Mommy, Daddy, I want a Mugwai. I would like to get a Mugwai. Why can't I get a Mugwai? Billy has a Mugwai. Why can't I get a Mugwai? And my dad would always remind me, did you see what happened when Billy wasn't able to follow the instructions? And I'd be like, I will follow the instructions because I saw what happened right there. I would not allow that to happen. And he was just like, nah. Then he was just like, you know what? Hey, this kid's going to keep on asking me this. And guess what? Mugwais are not real. Mugwais are not real. And my heart was crushed. It was crushed. It was crushed. But then I thought about it on a logical standpoint. If they were real, then this world would end very, very quickly. Because think about it. If Mugwais were real, there would probably be the number one pet being sold and probably be the number one pet in every household, over a dog or a cat. But how many people would be able to take care of a Mugwai? I don't think anybody realistically is capable of doing that. Because think about it. You can't get it wet, so how do you bathe it? They don't, eventually you'll get tired of the smell. And what if you live in, what about when the situations happens where you have daylight saving time, right? We all are messed up on our clocks. And you feed that mugwai something after midnight because you wasn't paying attention to daylight savings time or fall back. Um, yeah, yeah, you're creating total chaos for the whole world. All right. Oh, oh man, I want to take my pet out, and show it off to everybody, to the park and everything. Boom, sunlight. Oh, yeah, your pet's dead. But anyways, as cute as Gizmo is, a lot of times when I watch the movie Gremlins now, as I gotten older, I'm like, okay, is it even worth it to even have him as a pet? Okay, is it even worth it? Put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. You know if I've been buying yet, but because the gremlins when they arrive, that you have to deal with that. I mean, and Gizmo can't control them, so it's one of those things. It's like, how do you deal with that? How do you stop well, we know how to stop gremlins, but they multiply so quick to the point it's like by the time you didn't killed a few gremlins, they have hundreds, thousands of them. But this movie, the first Gremlins movie, unlike the second one, it has more of a darker tone to it, more serious tone to it. I mean, it has this jokes and everything, but it has a very, very serious tone to it. And when you really think about it, even the certain scenes that we watch in this movie that may be funny, well, this is some serious stuff. This is a real town that's being terrorized by these creatures, okay? Um, One of my favorite characters in this movie is I forgot the old man's name. He was in Demon Knight. This old guy. He was a war veteran, and he kept telling them about gremlins, about I believe he said the Japanese they would store gremlins in cars, and when they bring the cars to America, well, not just cars, they store them in the machines, and they send the gremlins to come and invade, the U.S. once the shipment of vehicles come in, and you can tell it's like, man, this guy really believed this story. He really believed what was going to happen with these gremlins. And everybody just looked at him like he was just crazy, treat him like he was insane, right? And he didn't know what he was talking about. They treat him like a drunk wino. And then that moment when him and his wife is in their house and the Gremlins are on that tractor and they coming in. He was just terrified. He was like, a Gremlin's in my house. A Gremlin's in my house. And I mean, that right there, that's just as worse as when, just as bad as when we watch movies and the kids will tell the parents, there's a monster in my closet, and they say, there's no monster in the closet. Next thing you know it, there's a monster in the closet. We got to take people serious when they say these things, people, because if they're over exaggerating the truth, okay, well, let's go see what the actual truth is. Let's get to the root of it. And maybe if they would have listened to him, they would have been better prepared for the Gremlins taking over their town. But this is a very, very fun movie. I watched this movie around the time of two different holidays, around Halloween, and I also watched this movie during Christmas time because it takes place during Christmas, and I think it's a Christmas movie as well. Just like Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but it's one of my favorite movies. I'm still down with Gizmo. I think if I had Gizmo, Gizmo will have to straight up be in not just a regular cage, but a waterproof cage. So I mean, take them out a few times, but that's it. But you have to be very, very disciplined to have a Mugwai. Um, you probably have to be a person who live by themselves. I mean, you can't you can't trust Gizmo around children. You can't trust children around a Mugwai. You can't, because it will lead to total chaos. Yeah, it will. It sure will. I'm getting a headache just thinking about imagining, like, if we had a Mugwai in the house, how would my kids deal with that? Because you know how children are. You tell them one thing and you got to keep repeating, and then it's like, oh, it's my bad, my bad. Well, you can't afford the my bad with that. Um, one of the creepiest scenes in this movie is when Billy's mom, and shout out to Billy's mom in this movie. I think she killed like 4 gremlins. You could tell she was scared as hell. That was brilliant acting by the lady who played his mom. But the scene where um, the gremlin was in the tree and you could see his eyes, and then he just lunged out at her. That scene is always creepy to me. I get goosebumps when I see that scene. It's like, wow, like that. That's some scary stuff. Because imagine seeing your Christmas tree shake, and then you see these red eyes, and then bam, it's jumping out at you. But hey, she killed all of the goons except for Stripe. But Stripe, you know what? Interesting fact about this movie, I found this out a couple years ago, that initially it was set up to where Gizmo would turn into Stripe and he would be the leader. But Steven Spielberg convinced the director, I believe it's Chris Columbus, that Gizmo is cute. Okay, you can sell a lot of toys, a lot of marketing with Gizmo. All right. So you keep Gizmo as the good guy, and Stripe, I guess Stripe is kind of like his alter ego that spawns from him. Well, he is a spawn of Gizmo. And that's one of those things, it's like, man, like what type of evil stuff Gizmo has going on with him that he keep producing a doggone Stripe. But I love this movie. Real good movie. Y'all should check this out. I mean, I think your children can check this movie out too. But it's a real good movie. Real good movie. But man, thank God Mugwais are not real. Well, at least I don't think that. Well, maybe they are real. I don't know. Thank God that a lot of people in this world are not walking around with Mugwais, because we will all be in a heap of trouble, for real. But anyways, share your thoughts and let me know, what do you think about Gremlins? All right, is it one of your favorite movies? You know what? Is Gremlins more of a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Student of the Game Podcast. Peace out.